100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 45.
So that wasn't quite the best landing, but it was the closest I got to adding ground proximity callouts to the Scratch airplane build, where duct tape is doing half the engineering work. After building this night flying Scratch build, I thought it would be really cool to have my own altitude callouts, especially since judging height can be harder at night, or day if you're like me. Rough landings aside, the idea came from playing around with ultrasonic range sensors. I remember using one to build a backup camera that beeped based on the distance to the nearest object, which meant I already had most of the components I needed. It was just a matter of putting everything together. For the sensor, I went with the HC-SR04 since it has a relatively small blind zone of about 2 centimeters. In theory, that means we could get a nice buttery 5 callout right before touchdown. Of course, as we just saw, there's always the possibility of just planting the plane 5 centimeters into the ground to get the callout instead. To control everything, I needed to use an ESP32 microcontroller. That allows us to stream the callouts wirelessly to a phone by having the ESP32 act as its own Wi-Fi access point. Next, we need power. I could use a power bank, but that's really bulky and adds extra weight. Instead, I checked the specifications on my speed controller and found that it outputs 5 volts up to 3 amps. From a previous project, I knew my ESP32, even with the GPS module attached, only drew around 200 milliamps during peak transmission, which means the onboard power supply should be sufficient and all I need to do is run a couple of jumper wires without having to add any extra batteries. Once everything was powered up and appeared to be working, I used the beeping proximity code to test the setup out. Now that it looks like there's some promise to this project, I went ahead and attached the ultrasonic sensor to the bottom of the plane using some handy-dandy aerospace-grade duct tape. After taking the plane out to a larger space to test it out, I realized the first issue, and that's going to be the narrow cone angle, which was already causing problems since I mounted the sensor at an angle. To fix it, I adjusted the sensor so it was pointing directly down, straight towards the ground, which gives a much more accurate reading of around 13 centimeters, which is its height above the ground. Now this works fine in level flight, since it'll be pointing straight down, and thus it'll get a direct return straight up. But as I come into land and hopefully remember to flare, I'll be pitching the plane up. That will cause the narrow ultrasonic beam to shoot out a larger distance than wanted before it strikes the ground and returns back. If the cone angle was larger, then it would hit the ground sooner, preventing this issue altogether. I also went ahead with a tape measure and confirmed what the sensor's mounting distance was above the ground to figure out what the offset would be for our later callouts. And it was 13 centimeters, which if you ask me, is a fairly large size. Turning the beeps on, I realized very quickly this is going to be incredibly annoying during takeoff, so I'll also need to add some sort of takeoff inhibitor that will temporarily disable callouts until it's time to land. And after simulating the smooth professional landings I always perform, it actually still looked very promising. The biggest issue was that I don't want beeps, I want actual voice callouts. Using little FS, I was able to upload the callouts onto the ESP32's memory and also add a takeoff inhibit button. Now I have this set up, which should hopefully be a lot better.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 10, 20, 30, 10.
I also might need to tweak a few settings, particularly the trigger distance window, because this is also pretty annoying. It was also at this point that I realized I should probably add a voltage divider, since the 5 volt signal from the sensor doesn't particularly go well with the 3.3 volts that the GPIO pins expect. Implementing some changes, we got this result.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Now hopefully we're ready to take it outside. Taking it outside, the landing certainly got a lot worse, but so did the connection between the phone and my ESP32. I could fly the plane a lot further than the connection could hold, which would drop the sensor readings. So I did the only logical thing and duct taped my phone to the front of the plane. Not only did the landings get even worse, but now I can't hear the callouts over the drone of the motor. So we're gonna need to come up with a better plan. Luckily for me, I actually have a router with a redundant battery supply that allows me to power it on outside. This means I could put the ESP32 into station mode, where it'll connect to the router, and the router then connects to the phone, greatly extending the range. Flying it around, it was maintaining connection the whole time.
40, 25.
Here a wire came loose, and the readings went absolutely haywire. The good news, however, is the landings are starting to get better. Something else I also realized is despite having a max range of up to 4.5 meters, I was struggling to read distances past 100 centimeters, likely due to the soft, uneven grass giving weak returns. But after getting some more practice in, we were able to get this result.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 45.
A little iffy there at the end, but I'll take it. Trying one more time, I still didn't quite get the results I wanted, but at the end of the day, I still got to get outside, had some fun tinkering with a scratch build that entertains me just by getting off the ground. And with that said, thank you very much for watching.